James Thomas Morning Blend, and thanks to Midwest Bank Center, we're continuing our series on the impact, the economic impact and inclusiveness of the African American community in St. Louis. And with me today, I have Tasha Pettis Bonds, who's Vice President and Community Engagement and Business Development over at Midwest Bank Center. Good morning, Tasha. How are you?
Good morning. I'm excited about being with you today.
I'm glad you're here today. So, Tasha, the question I have is, we're talking about the economic impact and inclusiveness of the African American community in St. Louis. And since you are community engagement and business development, what does that mean to you as far as inclusiveness and economic impact?
I think we just talked a little bit about this before we got started here. Um, Inclusiveness to me is, people use these three words in diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? So to me, the diversity, as they say, I think it's Miss Myers who said, is being invited to the party. And then inclusion was being asked to dance. Well, the equity piece is being asked to choose the music that you're dancing to. And so when I think about the space and the conversations that we continue to be in our marketplace, it really is taking all of our efforts to get this right, yet organically. And so when I think about the role that I'm in and think about the power of a role such as this, it's really an opportunity for me to do what I like to think of what I do best every single day, and that's building relationships simply by addressing the strengths that we have within our community and other communities, but then what are the gaps and challenges that exist that banks can assist with, that a church can assist with, that small business owners can assist with, and creating this ecosystem of all of us working together. I remember being young when I first learned kind of the difference in seeing people with tools and resources, but then seeing others that didn't have it and wondering why was this different for some but not all of us, And so as I began to grow throughout high school, throughout college, and continuing to see that, I've made it my personal goal to make sure that no matter what role I'm serving in, it's going to be one that's providing a level of education and tools and resources to close some of the gaps that exist, quite honestly.
Interesting. So, behind that and hearing that, what do you see as a vision? What is your vision of inclusiveness in the St. Louis area?
Oh, wow. So when I think about inclusion in our marketplace, I think about me being a banker and not being assigned a specific task simply because I'm a Black woman, but simply being assigned a task because of my skill set and my experience. And not saying that that's what's currently happening, but it's a reality for some of us sometimes. We look at a gap in this community and we say, who can fix this gap? Let's hire Black people. And we're going to put the Black people in these particular branches, right? Inclusion says we're going to hire you no matter what color you are, simply because of your skill set and your experience. But before we even get to that skill set and experience, inclusion takes it a step further and says, let's make sure we're properly engaging everybody in the education perspective and getting them all the same knowledge so it can be an even playing field. I talked to you a little bit about the simple fact that I went to Rosati Kane. And you think about going to a school such as Rosati Kane High School as prominent as it was. We were trailblazers in some of the work that we were doing and the workload that we were taking on as high school students. But it propelled us for being successful for college, and it propelled us even further for the careers that a lot of us, quite honestly, have taken on in our lives. And it's because we were properly equipped with tools and resources and the education to be on the same playing field with some of our counterparts that we went to school with. That's not the opportunity for everybody. And so when I think about St. Louis becoming more inclusive, we are giving any and everybody the same opportunity. When you look from neighborhood to neighborhood, This neighborhood has the same, doesn't have to look the same, but it has the same tools and resources. It has the stores. There are no food deserts anymore. It has the gas stations. It has the restaurants and the thriving community. It has the police force that's actually supporting the citizens of that community. And so the inclusiveness goes a long way when you think about the work that we need to do in our market.
A lot of work, especially over this past weekend, and seeing that Mayor Tashara Jones was actually on TV a week ago, along with Mr. Thompson, Kwame Thompson, and Jason Hall of Greater St. Louis Inc., and talking about the situation that's happening with downtown St. Louis. And I
Mm-hmm.
just read this morning in the St. Louis Business Journal, people have backed away from their new AT&T tower. Everybody keeps
Mm-hmm.
backing away from it. And another smaller company who has been downtown for a while at T-Rex has decided to move his facility out to Fenton because of what's been going on in St. Louis. So yeah, you're right. We there are things that need to happen inclusively in order for this city to survive. I kind of wonder what would have happened if the NGA had moved to either Fenton or to Scott Air Force Base versus North St. Louis. What would happen
Mm-hmm.
to that 1% personal tax and in real estate that the city of St. Louis is getting? Had that been taken away, where would the city be today?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That'd be very
Right.
interesting.
Yeah.
Tasha, thank you so much for joining us on Morning Blend. We really appreciate it. Again, thank you. We'll be talking about the economic impact and inclusiveness of the African American community in St. Louis. And thank you so much to Midwest Bank Center. And thank you again, Tasha Bonds.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.